4 weeks ago, I didn't know any Spanish. And then I studied as hard as I could to find out what level I can reach. This is what happened. First on my list is changing all the languages on my phones and computers to Spanish because I want to get every ounce of Spanish I can get in my day. Let's do that. Alright, so I went through the internet, mostly Reddit, and I found really good suggestions on how to learn a new language. I want to find podcasts that I like and listen to them in Spanish. I'm going to find a language partner that I can meet regularly. I'm going to find a show that I can watch in Spanish. I can play video games in Spanish. I will write down the most important words and translate them. Alright, now I've written down the 100 most common words in the English language. I should be good to go. I've been watching some videos, TV shows I know, videos especially made for people who want to learn Spanish like me, but it's all too complicated, too fast. Maybe stuff like this will work in a week or 2 weeks. We'll see. See you guys tomorrow. Today I was on a train for like 7 hours and I used like all the time to study vocabs. I have about half of the 100 vocabs that I wrote down memorized, I would say. I found one podcast where people just have a conversation. I mean, I cannot understand anything at all, but it's still slow and sometimes I hear some words that I have written down, so maybe I will pick up something in the future. Today I'm meeting my Spanish teacher Alvaro for the first time and I'm really excited on how the lesson's gonna go.
Hola, hola.
Hola.
How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Very well, very well.
What do you think is possible in 4 weeks? How much can I learn?
That depends on the amount of time that you want to give to learning Spanish, but it's about your dedication. So it is very dependent on you.
Do you have any suggestions on how to study?
For sure. I always say that a language can be learned the way that you really want. Do whatever you love, but do it in Spanish. Watching a lot of TV shows, watching a lot of films. Also, of course, music. Some people use some applications, and I have done it, but you cannot base your learning on just Duolingo or other applications.
My vocab box is filling up quite fast. That's why I want to transfer all those vocabs into a program today. There's one, it's called Anki. And of course, the benefit is that I can have 1 million vocabs if I want to, and I don't need to carry this with me all the time. What I also found out that really helps me is if I study a vocab, for example, long, which is largo, larga, I try to make a small sentence with it. Este calle es larga. This street is long. Then I put the sentence in Google Translate, check if it makes any sense, and if it doesn't make sense, I try to see why, and I also double check it by putting in the English sentence, this street is long, and see what Google Translate gives me. So now I have all my vocabs, all my cards on my phone in this app here, and this is really convenient, I have to say, and it's for free. Also, today my first Spanish book arrived, El Principito, and I bought it because in English it's a very simple language, so I thought it would be a really good start to read this in Spanish. This morning I did my usual Anki lessons in bed. Then I spent some time on Facebook. I know. But there's some really great groups on Facebook where you can find tandem partners. And I reached out to like 20 people in Berlin if they want to meet up for a one-on-one tandem. One of them already replied and we're gonna meet this evening. Now I'm gonna do something really fun. I'm gonna watch the movie El Camino. So the best part about watching this here on Netflix is that I can slow down the movie to understand even more, and that helps a lot. Alright, now I'm on my way to my first tandem one-on-one meetup with Andres. Also had my third Spanish lesson with Alvaro just now, and yeah, day's going great.
Hola Marvin.
Hola Pedro.
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
tal?
Muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Bien. So today I had another lesson with Alvaro and I found out how to use ChatGPT as a tandem partner. So basically what I did was send him this prompt here, and after that we just started having a normal conversation. You know, we talked about what we like, what our hobbies are, and yeah, it's great practice. Today I had my first Spanish dream. I dreamt about writing some messages on Facebook to find more tandem partners. I actually have 2 more tandem meetups today. I'm meeting Maria first, and then I'm meeting Ana Maria later in the afternoon. And on top of that, I have another lesson with Alvaro, for which I have to prepare some homework. So it's a busy day, and I'll better get started. So I want to give you an idea of how good my Spanish or how bad my Spanish is at this point. I can pretty much understand everything in this very simple YouTube video here. It's about a chicken that is scared that the sky is gonna fall on his head. Let's take a listen.
Él vive en un gallinero pequeño y normal en un barrio pequeño y normal. Pollito Tito no es alto ni bajo.
So now you know what I understand, but what can I produce? What can I say? I think it's best if I show you some of my homework that I'm doing for the next lesson with Alvaro. You can see that I can formulate sentences to describe what I'm doing on each day of the week. The essence of the present tense in Spanish, I think it's pretty much in my head. When writing, of course. I hope I can show you some of the speaking, maybe with my next tandem partner. Alright, I'm on my way to the next tandem meeting with Maya, and I think this is gonna be my last tandem before I go away to a Spanish-speaking country, but more on that later. Hola! Hola Maya, ¿cómo estás?
Bien,
¿y tú?
Bien, también.
So I'm back from my meetup. You might notice that I'm lying in bed here. The reason is I've been feeling a little sick the last 2 or 3 days, which is probably because of the cold weather here in Berlin. So I thought, why not combine studying Spanish and warm weather? So I booked a trip to Tenerife. Tenerife is an island that belongs to Spain, and it's off the coast of Africa. So it's very warm, but still close to Europe. So I made it. I'm in the apartment now, and I could actually use some of my Spanish skills already, for example, to find the bus or order something in a cafe here. I have a really cool thing planned for tomorrow. I'm going to a language school, which is hopefully going to help me get better much faster.
En español solo uno, es I, es impersonal. Entonces puedo decir.
So my homework is to write a text about Berlin, actually something that I have done I think last week with Alvaro, but I'm really struggling right now and I don't know why. It feels like my Spanish is worse today than a week ago. Maybe I'm tired, maybe it was a long day. Alright, so today I had my second lesson with Carmen, and then after that I had a group lesson with 5 other people, and I also found out something really cool, how I can use ChatGPT to practice my talking. So this is how it works. Here he asks me a question: what do you like to do in your free time? And then I use Google Translate. En mi tiempo libre me gusta hacer de natación y también me gusta leer sobre empresas de marketing de valores. Now I copy it and see what he says. Paste it in. I actually wanted to say I like to read about companies on the stock market. Next question. Do you have any other hobbies you'd like to share? Sí, tengo adicionales pasatiempos. Alright, I was just eating lunch in a small restaurant here in front of my house, and I said hello to this girl, and I picked up a lot of Spanish stuff. For example, how to order half a pint of beer. We exchanged contact. Now I can hang out with Spanish people. So I had another class with Carmen today. It went really great. I can already feel my Spanish improving. And as a homework, she sent me this TV series that's made for Spanish beginners like me, and I'm gonna watch it now, and we'll talk about it in our next lesson.
Buen, chica. A ver, la factura del teléfono. La factura.
It's really simple Spanish, plus they talk very slow, and then there's also subtitles. It's great. This is what I was looking for, but didn't find by myself. So next on my list is another lesson with Alvaro, and it's gonna be really exciting because he doesn't know that I'm in Spain right now. Let's see how he reacts.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
¿Qué tal? Muy bien. ¿Y tú?
También. Adivina qué.
¿Qué?
Estoy en España.
¿Qué?
Sí.
¿Dónde está?
En Tenerife.
¿Y eso?
¿Y eso? ¿Por qué?
Digo, sí, como... ¿Por qué? Así, de la nada.
Sí, para estudiar español.
¿Y cuánto tiempo estás allí?
Un mes.
¿Un mes?
Un mes.
Qué buena decisión. Me gusta.
So my teacher Carmen connected me with a fellow musician here. We're gonna meet now and maybe have a jam session and hopefully speak lots of Spanish.
I am yours.
Here's a quick update of what has been happening this week. I had more lessons with Carmen. I had group lessons with Carmen. I had more lessons with Alvaro, of course. I watched some movies and I studied vocabs. I just had another group tandem meeting, like the first tandem I went to in Berlin. I really felt like an outsider at a few points in the conversation because I didn't understand most of it and I couldn't say anything. I was just sitting there like a mute, you know. Anyway, now I'm heading back home to another one-on-one tandem.
Ok.
¿Conoces Tenerife?
España,
Sí.
¿verdad?
Es una isla de Canarias. So today is going to be really interesting because I'm going to a demonstration. It's called Empty the Tanks. The purpose of the demonstration is to free the trapped orcas and dolphins in zoos all around the world. Let's see if I can understand something the people are chanting. Maybe I can chant too. So this week I had more classes with Carmen, I saw Alvaro a few more times and I had more tandems. But guess what day tomorrow is? Tomorrow is the last day of my Spanish learning challenge. Tomorrow is day 28 and to celebrate that I'm gonna take an official language test to see what level of Spanish I reached. And I'm also gonna apply my Spanish skills here in the streets in Tenerife, but I'm gonna tell you more about what I'm gonna do on the streets tomorrow after my test. Alright, finished with the test. It was, well, easy and hard at the same time because each part of the exam, reading, writing, speaking and listening, starts very simple and then it gets harder. I have no idea what level I'm gonna get. Could be A1, could be A2, hopefully not A0. Now I'm gonna go around and try to find somebody who wants to be in the video with me, who wants to talk to me, so I can show you how much Spanish I learned. And I have to convince them in Spanish, of course. Let's go, let's find some people here. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Hablas español?
Sí.
¿Te gustaría participar en un video?
¿Un video?
Sí, es un reto de mí. Se llama ¿Cuánto español puedo aprender en 4 semanas? Y hoy es el último día.
Es el último día.
¿Quieres filmar?
Ah, vale, yo filmo.
Sí.
Venga.
Ah, gracias. Hace 2 o 3 años viví aquí 5 meses.
¿Y Tenerife del Sur lo conoces?
Sí, vivo en Los Ábridos ahora, en el sur.
¿Vienes del sur aquí?
Sí, sí.
Está lejos, ¿eh? Un poquito.
Es lejos, 1 hora en
No,
coche.
en coche. ¿Y has venido en coche?
Sí, sí, un coche de rental.
Sí.
¿Cómo se dice?
Alquiler de coche.
¿Ah?
Alquiler de coche.
Alquiler de coche, sí. Muchas gracias por tus preguntas y conversación. Y gracias para filmar.
De nada.
I did it. I found somebody. The first 2 people I talked to said yes. Wow, I feel like mission accomplished. 4 weeks of studying Spanish. I had a real conversation here. Lived here in Spain and spoke only Spanish. Perfect. Now let's fast forward to the test results. So I'm back in Berlin and now I also have my test results. In reading and writing, I got a B1. In speaking and listening, I got an A2. I'm really surprised about the B1 because B1 is really a pretty high level in my opinion, because you have to know a couple of different tenses for it. Speaking and listening A2, I think that's pretty fair because I spoke a lot in Spain. So yeah, all in all, I'm very happy and I hope you're happy too with the video. So like and subscribe and I'll see you next time. Bye.